This is a Women at Web podcast series powered by Kiktanet and supported by DW Academy. Women at Web is a regional initiative by 7 digital rights organizations from East African region. This initiative speaks to raise women voices on the internet through advocacy and research to create safe spaces online. Kiktanet is a multi-stakeholder platform that brings together stakeholders to discuss ICT policies issues in the country and beyond. All right. Thank you, ladies, for joining us in this podcast. Just to introduce myself to our audience, my name is Liz Orembo. I am a trustee at Kiktanet, and I am so passionate about gender and digital rights because I'd really like to see women thriving on this space. At Kiktanet, we are an ICT4D think tank. We do research, we do capacity building, and we do advocacy on ICT for development. And one of our major programs are equality and women rights online. We have other programs also major as well, like cybersecurity. We also do community networks on internet access. It's really a lot. But we're here to talk about women campaigns in politics and what are the challenges they face and how do they encounter the online space. This is part of the 16 days of activism under the DW Academy program, Women at Web. And we are joined by 2 guests who will introduce themselves. So let's start with Mylene. Mylene, tell us about you and what you do.
Hi, my name is Mylene Busibori Anunda. I vied as an MP in Kajiado North. I'm so passionate about women empowerment. I also run an institution or a CBO by name Olosho, Nkong Olosho. Nkong Olosho is a Maasai name. It means a woman is a third eye of a nation. So that's why I'm so passionate about issues to do with women, girl child.
Mm-hmm.
We do mentorship of our youths, boy child too.
Mm-hmm.
And currently we are doing a lot of climate change, women and climate change.
Asante sana, Mylene.
Thanks.
Do you mind telling us which positions you vied for in the last election?
Yes. I vied as an MP, Member of Parliament, Kajiado North.
Mm-hmm.
And I did well because I managed to trounce like 8 men. I'm so
Wow, congratulations.
proud. Thank you.
Those are the stories that we'd like to hear. Epale?
My name is Anita Epale Christine. I ran the Young Politician Congress. I also contested for the seat of Women Representative Nairobi County under ODM. And I'm just happy to be here. It's a beautiful thing when women talk about the challenges they face, also for the record of the next generation, because we are here also because of the courtesy of the sacrifice the women made before us.
Yeah.
So if we document our experience, our challenges, especially with this online generation era, we'll be able to impact the next generation.
Nice. Thank you, ladies. One thing I like about your introductions is that you're not just politicians. You started from somewhere. You are community change makers at the grassroots. And then that's where you realize that you can make an impact if you get a representative seat for your constituency. I really admire that a lot. Now, tell us whether you incorporated some digital aspects into your campaign. Did you use online platforms? What were your experiences? Anyone can take that.
Yeah. Me as Mylene, actually I came to realize very late that there are so many apps, social media, that we would have used to help us spreading the message to our voters to know exactly who we are, what we stand for, our manifesto. But I want to confess that I really used a lot of Facebook and WhatsApp. Later, that's when I came to realize there were some others like Anchor, Anchor, Telegraph, something like that.
Yeah.
But I think...
Did you use Twitter?
No, I feared using Twitter.
Why?
There's a time I was in Twitter, and then people were attacking our president, the then president. When he left, then I decided, this thing is so harsh and hot. So I decided to exit.
Yeah. So you saw the online environment on Twitter, someone else being harassed,
abused,
and you felt like that space was not for you.
Yes.
Yeah. I hold on that thought a bit, because I'm going to follow up on that, because sometimes when you see violence happening somewhere, then women usually shy away from those spaces because you don't want to be part of them. And most of the time we see online spaces normalizing violence in politics, and makes us shy away from seeking elective positions because of that, or even just expressing ourselves, because we think maybe the same thing that's happening to another person might happen to us. So just hold on to that thought. Yeah, let's go to Epali. I'd like to call you by Epali because Maasai names are usually beautiful.
Something funny, I'm not even Maasai.
Really?
Yes, I'm a Teso. I come from Busia. I think we are among the top 3 from bottom minority in the country. I'm from a very minority community.
Oh,
At least Maasai, they are advanced. Tesos, I think this is your first time also to heard about Tesos.
No, I've heard about Tesos.
Yeah.
And I'm usually like, I don't really know the difference between, when I see them, or even the names between Teso, Samburu, the ones in Turkana,
Yes, too.
and Maasai's in Kajiado. Maybe you'll tell us about that.
Yeah, we are all Nilotic, but we are the minority, and I'm very proud to be here and also being given the space to share my challenges, especially as a woman in politics. Social media, I'm below the age bracket of 35. Actually, I'm 25 years. So this is the stage where everyone believes in creative media.
Yeah.
As a way of creating employment, as a way of communicating. And our era has really invested in social media. So I really did a lot in social media, TikTok. I did videos on Instagram. I did use my Twitter sometime. Also Facebook to market my agenda. But I can tell you, it has not been an easy journey. Yes, social media enabled you to reach a wide number of people, because an average person spends 3/4 of his day on the phone, but also the negativity, the harshness that comes through also social media is so appalling. It's so negative towards women.
Yeah.
Yes, but social media has really been a tool in our political race.
So it's a really nice tool, but there are some fears for us to use because of the environment that's there. Would you mind us telling us a bit about your experiences on different social media platforms?
Facebook, actually, I'm a victim of cyberbullying. The year was 2016, 2017. I contested for the seat of Sonu Finance Secretary, Nairobi University. That was my first time to realize, this is not a good place to be.
So you started pretty early.
Yeah, I started pretty
From
early.
campus.
From campus. I was against the team of Babu Owino. He was competing for chair. I was on the other team competing for finance secretary with Mike Jacobs. And social media, they really use, there's a way people can use social media to make you lose hope, to make you just give up, to kill your dream. And for me, it worked. It honestly worked. And it took me a long time for me to come back and also to start to grow a thick skin and give it a try again. people impersonated me. They made photos of me half naked with my face. I don't know, you are in the digital world, you can tell me the term. I don't know those terms where people impersonate you. They create an image of you being naked.
Photoshopping.
Yeah, it's called, I think that's the
Photoshop.
word. And also writing false information about you. Oh, yesterday you were in a certain place, you're doing ABCD. And they question your morality. The same way the standard gauge of women politicians is so different from male politicians.
Yeah.
So the negative comment people make, and what we say is whatever someone sees, what they believe. So when someone writes a note about you, I don't know you, but I'll perceive you according to what comment someone else has wrote about you.
Yeah, I'm usually surprised by how easy it is to bring down a woman, especially in the African society, because we judge them on standards of morality. And being also in the age of where misinformation is quite rife, especially in Kenyan politics, we see women like being the easy targets, and they drop out of race because of misinformation. And the kind of misinformation is one that will kind of separate their personality from what they want to do in politics itself. It's like it depersonalizes you on morality grounds, and the things you say, like Photoshop, someone photoshopping you so that you appear like you are doing something immoral, and mostly attacking our sexuality. I think it's something that is very, very common. So sorry about that. I hope you continue, and I'm really glad that you develop a thick skin, which is not the answer. We really don't want women to be like, now I want to develop a thick skin for me. You don't have to develop a thick skin for you to continue participating on social media, but that's the immediate answer that we have right now before we start making other parties, responsible parties, to be accountable. Yeah. Marlene had something to say.
Yeah, about social media and my experiences. Actually, they were so bad. One thing I didn't mention here is this was not my first time to vie. I started as an MCA 2013, same constituency, but on a world level. A few months to elections in 2013, unfortunately, I lost my son just a month to elections.
Sorry about that.
I struggled, and here people were asking questions in social media. You sacrificed your son, imagine, to be elected, to win an election. A month to elections. Some were asking me, tell us about your husband. Are you married? Where's your husband? You are just a prostitute. And I thank God those kind of questions, they gave me strength. I continued to the ballot. So these last year elections, the last elections now this year in August, I didn't find a lot of people asking me such questions. Maybe it's because I became an addict to such questions. And anytime I'm asked about where my husband is, I used to maybe sometimes, like now if I can give an example, there's a lady who asked me such question in a baraza. Unfortunately, she was standing with her husband there, questioning me, we want to see your husband. And I responded, I didn't fight back, I responded in a microphone, please, can you lend me your husband for just 3 weeks as I finish this assignment, if it is a qualification for one to vie. And I'm telling you, that thing gave me marks. I scored very high because people, sometimes they can throw to you questions so that you fight back. And then they rate you the kind of a leader you are. Are you
or even sometimes when you start fighting back, they get the
Yes.
energy to continue fighting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I stood there, I smiled, I just approached her, and then I told her, please lend me your husband for 2 weeks. I finish this exercise, I promise I won't hurt him.
I'll give him back to you.
I'll give him back to you. So people clapped, and I got my marks. I proceeded, and actually I became very strong. Some women and men who are having such questions, they even shied off asking me anything. Yes. So in social media, we've been bullied, impersonated. We have been stalked by even other women. Our fellow women are the ones who are asking us questions, such tough questions. Some say they even write, we can't vote a woman. We are going to vote men. So those are some of the things. Had we had a lot of time, maybe I would have expounded on this, on abusive languages. We were threatened that we are going to be raped,
On social media?
Yes.
Well, that's really...
Yes. You need to be raped so that you settle. It's like...
I'd like to come to your point where you said some of the attackers are women.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's a time during a Kicktanet workshop where we were discussing and saying it being a patriarchal society, it doesn't mean that it's only men who are actually driving this kind of activities or norms, whatever we want to call it, or traditions. But there are things that we've lived with, how we see women or how we portray women in the society. Yes, the gender which has more power would really like to continue holding it. And that's why they will influence on the women. They have the power to influence, so that they also have the mindset to actually perpetrate this kind of attacks or violence and all that. So sometimes we see that we are also, women are in it as much as men are also in it. But also, I think because of the attitudes that we have in the society, the norms, the traditions, the cultures that we have,
even religion.
Even
religion. That's why we see in most religious places, a place of a woman is to serve tea, to serve the pastors,
and not to talk,
and not to
count
contribute.
The sadaka.
Yes.
Yeah, and not making decisions. Yeah, I heard that from someone who was complaining that women are the ones who are taking more roles in the church, but not the decision making.
No.
Yeah.
You cannot be in the development committee as a woman, because they believe men must be in the development committee in churches. You cannot be an accountant. You don't know how to count the money. Money is for men.
So one thing that we are agreeing about is that the thing of online violence, especially for women in politics, stems from the societal attitudes that we see or we have in the society.
Yes.
So what would be, and I'm sorry, this is kind of a direct question, because I'd like to ask, what's then the policy gap? Is the gap in policy or gap in how we sensitize people to kind of respond or to call out when such kinds of attacks happen online?
Sorry.
Okay. Just continue.
I think there is no gap in policy. We have freedom of expression. We need to educate our people to know that this is the 21st century. Traditions and cultures will never bring food on the table. What a man can do, a woman can do even better. We need to educate our people, especially our women folk, not to talk about enmity, that we are enemies of our own. We are not. And we have always told these ladies, we are not enemies of our own. This is something that we are creating an impression to instill fear in women. So we need like 2, 3, 4, 5 women to come up and showcase all this. Tell them, we are capable of doing all this even better.
Yeah. And that's why we have you as like a Pale, 25 years in politics and being bold and fierce about it. And you also, Mylene, also not giving up and continuing to push on until you get what you want in representative politics.
Yes.
I think you are heroes. Like when we see you, we are like, at least we have women in this place, in this space, and it's so possible to be bold and brave in this space. So thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
I think also action should be taken against people who display cyberbullying. Also, people who write things on every platform negative, because whatever you write is a picture of what you are doing out here.
Yeah.
Because by the time you write something, you have thought about it, you have analyzed it, and you're willing to take action on it. When someone speaks badly about a woman online, oh, you are dressed indecent, oh, why you dressed like that, Ama, why do you have a big behind, or when someone sexualizes a woman on a comment, or make a bad comment about rape, ABCD, they are willing to actually take that action.
Yeah.
In real life out here. So social media is like a mirror of what the society is at and how people are brought up, or how they take women for granted.
Yeah, thank you for that, Epale. And that brings me to my next question. Like, you've experienced violence online. Have you ever reported it, or have you seen someone reporting it? What were the experiences? Were the cases taken through? Did they get justice in the end, or was something done?
We are still wayward. Liz, we are very still wayward. When you go to the police station and you report and you show someone a comment, atakwambia ni he just wrote it. Ama she just wrote it. There's nothing we can do about it.
Na polisi anafanya nini about it?
They do nothing about it because they say there's no evidence.
But the evidence is in the comment, or maybe if he trolled, there's an evident trail of evidence of what he did.
They actually don't view comment as action against you. They want to see a physical harm or something has been done to you. But also we have seen a lot of negligence towards women, gender-based violence cases, because a police officer will tell you that is a family issue. It is not even family. Or even the police officer, if it's a man or a woman, will comment, you can see your photo, you're indecently dressed.
Where were you?
You're indecently dressed. That comment, it's at par at what you have displayed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are still not well. Our legal system, and also
So they're trying to blame the victim.
Yes. So majority don't report because in the end of the day, you will be victimized.
What was your experience, Mylene? Did you ever reported some of those cases?
One thing, Liz, Mylene Anunda, I'm so daring. I don't care what people say. Actually, I've never reported, even the severest. I've never reported. I just rubbish. And you know, that one maybe is a show of maturity. I don't hit back. I'm focused. Let them talk so long as they don't harm me. And none has ever harmed me, surely. I can't lie. I have not seen anywhere, or maybe I've never been so keen to know exactly there's a politician lady who has reported of a certain case and that it has not been handled. But I've heard there's a lady, I just heard, that's hearsay, that she was harassed. And then when she went to report, the police officer asked her, where were you at this time? You must have
Like trying to
contributed.
tell her that you should have been at home at
She's
this
a
time.
problem. Why were you?
But what about the person who kind of perpetrated the thing? Where was that person as
You
well?
see, they are not given time to ask such questions. And you see, there's that, the police, mwananchi wa kawaida relationship. No? There's that fear in between. So nobody has ever come up, even the human rights. They handle big cases. but not these small ones of GBVs. But there
Yeah.
are so many GBVs reported, nothing
Nothing is
being done about it.
Yeah. So you mentioned two things. Epalu says that our law enforcement people, they don't have the capacity or they don't understand. And also, they're also part of this society where we are patriarchal and all that. So they'll try to put blames on the victim. Same thing to what you're saying, like nothing is being done and you'll be asked questions. And then another thing that you're also saying is that there's also fear. We fear the people who are supposed to be taking care of us, so that you can't even go reporting, or you don't have the chance to counter ask what
But
they.
you know, Liz, in the police station, we have a gender desk.
In every police
In
station.
every police station. And those people are just seated there.
Wasting
taxpayers' money. They should come out and carry around workshops, sensitize our women. Why there is a gender desk.
And even them who are sitting there, they should be sensitized before they even occupy those seats,
yes,
right?
Yes. And then from there, I know in our constitution or in the criminal law, I know there is a clause or a section on the same gender GBVs and the punitive aspect of it. But I'm looking forward to read even the newspaper that Mr. B or Mrs. B violated Miss C, and these are the actions she's been taken or is been taken to court, and this is the sentence. In fact, it will be an eye-opener to the whole society. So
actually, it's very rare. It's either nothing's being done, or the few cases that are there, we don't have, or the media has not had the interest to put them out there so that people know that, oh, okay, there's this kind of law, and this is what will happen to me if I do 1, 2, 3, right? Because some of these laws, like we know that, okay, it's universal that when you steal something, there's something, the law enforcement is going to catch up with you in one way or another. You'll get a sentence, you'll get some fine, and this is the process. But I think it's because theft cases are the most reported criminal cases in media. These other ones, they're not. And especially gender-based violence are never reported. Is it something that would make us, as a society, start thinking twice about what's being posted online, or these kinds of online violation that women face? Will it really change if they start being reported?
Yeah, according to me, it will change. And you see, we as citizens, we rely a lot on our elected members of parliament or county assembly. And I don't think they are doing much. They concentrate on other things, leaving the society in wriggling in problems. So I feel it is us, the few women, who must come up and say loudly that, if you do ABCD, and we can come up even with a proposal, we do something to parliament, to our county assemblies for implementation and sensitization, so that our common mwananchi know that bullying is an offense and it is sentenced. It has a sentence of a certain term limit, so that it can instill fear to those ones who are bullying us.
Yeah.
Another thing, I think our society still is in the olden era, whereby our political leaders think when you are being elected, or the problem that actually people are facing is hunger, basic need like education, roads, food, medical. So the aspect of social media is still westernized in our country. As much as we are pushing, as much as at the moment, you can't pass a day without using social media
Yeah.
for information, for research, for communication. It's inevitable for you to operate without social media. But still our society view it as a Western way. That's why we really don't relate with the negativity or the positivity that come with social media.
Yeah.
So
Like when something happens there, as long as you're healthy, you're okay,
And it doesn't touch you,
and it doesn't touch you, then
it's
there's
none of
no
your
case there.
business.
so it has drove a lot of women into depression. It has dropped a lot of women into suicide because of the negative that is being out there, and no one is taking action against it. Even if someone commits suicide, they feel like he or she wasn't raised well. That's why they commit suicide, because of what people say. But in the
Yeah.
end of the day, what people really say on the social media and talk about someone is so demoralizing that it kills people in so many ways that people don't really apprehend.
Yeah.
So I think we also have our also leaders need to go through classes to learn more about social media. The
Yeah.
former minister for ICT, Joe Musheru, tried to bring about the issue of people being arrested when you make a bad comment, or when you write misinformation on social media about someone or something. But he didn't go far. He really received a lot of negativity. He didn't receive any support. Women didn't sponsor even bills in parliament
Yeah.
against that, because it's not it they don't see physical damage
Yeah.
directly impacted to them, so they assume social media.
Or they just don't understand.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I think one of the comments made against misinformation was also not also trusting our government, because sometimes when the government prosecutes misinformation, sometimes it does that with the interest of criminalizing people who say things that are bad against them. But the other thing, there's also misinformation, like what can I say? Like 100% there misinformation that is out of malice, and most of them actually targeted at women politicians so that they drop out of the races. There, like how we talked, what we talked about at the beginning of this podcast. Then my follow-up question would be, what would be the solutions, even from our party? From the positions of our parties, like, do we have policies that touches on violence? Let's not go online, because I've never heard of any party policies that has clauses on online violence or things like that. But do they have provisions on violence? Do they actually act in a way that it shuns violence? Is it in their policies? Let me know about the parties that you vie with.
In ODM, no, let me not go specifically to the party that I vied in. It's part of the political party requirement that women are protected in every political party they're in. It's a requirement that
And all of them have policies.
all of them have policies. But then
Okay.
in the end of the day, the problem comes in as, are they implemented? They are not implemented. Because the same people who were supposed to protect women tells you politics is for men. If you have decided to be in politics, kuwa kama mwanaume.
You should be a staffers.
Yes.
The men you see
Yes.
vying.
Yes. Why are you in this space if you're not tough enough? These are the same people we look up to say, women are weak, women should be protected. We are not really weak, but you get the weakness I'm talking about,
Yeah.
that women deserve some leniency. They don't practice that in the end of the day. So we are all thrown in the same jungle, fight for the same space. And it's never easy for women.
Yeah,
So that's why
the space disadvantages us
as in so
because
many
of
ways.
the things that are in that space.
Yes.
Yeah.
But women out here don't know much about it, because this male politician, when they come out, You remember our current president, William Samoei Ruto, said his government will be 50% with women.
Yeah.
But nothing of that sort are we witnessing at the moment. The same of the opposition leader Raila Amolo Odinga say that in his government also, and also part of his leadership, it will be 50 women. But Liz, let me surprise you. We have 19% of the current politicians elected and elected leaders. Only 19% are women.
Wow.
Only 19%.
And that's why we have to fight for safety online, because online platforms are platforms that are so powerful for us to campaign. And as we fight for elective leadership, so there's that appointment, like it should be 2/3 gender rule.
But it is.
Yes, but it's not there.
Yeah.
But there's also the elective one where at least we can participate like freely, like everyone else. But the space, we can't participate equally as the other powerful gender.
Yeah, and the political party also says for every elective seat in every political party, because they give certificates to candidates to participate in election, they should they are required to have 2/3 gender rules, but they don't have it, and they just find around a way. I don't know if it's corruption or I don't know.
Yeah, or at least they have it in document, but not in practice.
Practical. And the political parties,
no one is there to put them
slide. The EACC let it slide. Our system also don't work, because as much as we're trying for them to work, these laws are in place, but no one follow them. No one call them out, as in they're not accountable to them. They're just there to please women on papers, but they don't really take consideration into making them to implement them.
Yeah. Those are very important points.
Parties. I don't want to, of course, myself I've vied on Usawa kwa wote party. And the same challenges we had as women in our party, they are universal to all these other parties. What I experienced, there was a lot of harassment. Women, we were harassed. We were thrown from pillar to post. I remember some spent a lot of money to get a ticket. Some were sexually harassed. I don't know whether we can call it harassment, sexually harassment, but some decided to give maybe to offer themselves for tickets, which is not allowed, because it's like we don't understand our standing in the society as women.
Yeah, but sometimes that is demanded, so it's also harassment when it's demanded for you to get something.
Yes. Yeah. I myself, when I was going for my ticket, as we didn't have nominations, as in the constituency nominations, we had internal in-house. All those people who were in the party I was, we were called to the office, and then interviews were done on us. I remember I was the only lady against several men. I'm telling you, Liz, I got it rough. A man came with a lot of money, and he corrupted the whole system. And I was called at midnight. Bring money, your file imefichwa. You can't get a certificate. So we were running up and down. You bring money, somebody brings more. So there was a lot of corruption, and this was being done by men. Women, we didn't have a space at all.
You bring a very important point, and I don't know if you remember, you also brought about it in another angle, where you said there's a fight with resources. And when it comes to economic resources, women are disadvantaged.
Yes.
There's a time during one of our workshops, Kiktanet workshops, on digital security, you talked about women being attacked online, misinformation. And for you to fight that misinformation, you still have to pay bloggers to
To talk good about
to
you.
talk good about you or to correct that misinformation
Yes.
about you,
Yes.
because it affects your candidature.
Yes.
And so every time it keeps happening, you also have to spend money
Yes.
on
Yes.
that.
Yes.
I think it's a very strong point that we also need to follow up on, because it's not just the political parties are responsible also here. We also have policy implementers. We also have platform owners themselves who should also be responsible on that.
But even the parties, they have owners.
Yeah,
So you
parties
have to
also have
sing
owners.
to their song, to their song. You sing to their song.
Oh, yeah.
You bring money, we give you this. Now you find that women, we are disadvantaged. We don't have money.
To
That's
form even
why-
your political parties and to nurture them so that they're strong.
I even remember I was asked, how do you contest without money? How much do you have? Liz, I contested by faith. I didn't have any money, and I'm
But you
so
pushed through.
excited. When others are hospitalized, I like my opponents, some of them who spent more than 20, 50 million. When they lost, they were on drips. Mylena was just laughing outside here, saying, well, surely, me, I didn't spend any money, but I managed.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of corruption in our parties.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, as Kinternet, I think you can help women by also sensitizing our media platform, because most of the challenges we face as women, especially when we are called to these media houses for interview, the same question they ask the male legislators are not the same question they ask the women legislator. They waste our time on irrelevant questions.
Yeah.
Why will someone ask me a question like more of how am I married? What does my
Intimidation.
husband think?
While the guys are being asked about the policies.
Yes,
The
and
men
we're
are
in
not
the
asked
and
whether
we-
they are married.
And we're in the
Yeah.
same platform. I'll use example, maybe on Citizen or KTN or KBC. And a journalist, a professional journalist, ask you on your view on FGM. And he will not ask the same question to a
the man.
politician who you are contesting for the same seat. So they waste our time asking us, why don't you take care of your family? But they cannot ask the man the same question. Through social media, we have learned that most organizations right now, they're embracing women leaders, women CEOs, women women are really breaking the glass ceiling in the corporate world.
Yeah.
But now, when it comes to politics, we still have
They still lag behind.
we still have a lot of resistance. It's not that we don't have good policies. It's not that we don't have the agenda. We really do have
Implementation.
the agendas, and the society knows we will implement them.
Yeah.
But the problem is, it is a woman who is suggesting.
The political will and the shift of power from one gender to another, I think.
It affect them. Like, how can a woman be this bright, be this audacity? Where does a woman get the audacity to stand on the same platform with a man?
Yeah.
So we are back to the patriarchal system of our society.
Yeah.
And it will not end soon.
But we have to do something.
We have to do something.
Little by little, drop by drop in the ocean, we'll start changing it. Ladies, this has been a very interesting conversation. You'll agree with me.
Yeah.
And I'm really sorry to cut you short. I hope we'll have more episodes on this topic, like thematic topics. Today we talk about online campaigning. Tomorrow we talk about the policies we have in our political parties. The next time we talk about our agendas and how we can drive them digitally and all that. There's a lot to unpack in this one small topic of women and how we use the ICTs to vie for elective position or to seek representation in governance. So let me ask this as a kind of a parting shot. And it's, you might have had this question in one of the Kiktanet events. How do you view the internet? What gender is the internet? Is it male or female? And what are your reasons?
Let me answer. And then my sister here. Actually, the internet is more of a mostly is dominated by men. Because if the percentage of women to men are higher, and the reasons are
Who use the internet or
who are in social media.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, because I was kind of going to be surprised because there's this narrative that women are double the number of men, and so women should be desperate looking for partners. Yet, if they're double the number of men, why don't we find them on social media also?
Actually, men are many, but ladies, we are also moving to internet.
So we are not there yet. We are moving, but
we
the
are
guys
there,
are
but
there.
our numbers, they are coming slowly. Like me, surely I'm in social media, but I would also want to comment about the apps that are in social media. This young generation, both men and women, they are in Anchor, I don't know.
Different kinds of apps. She's on
Instagram, TikTok. You know, I wanted to go to Instagram. And then I feared I might find my son there, my children. So as women with families, you know, and age also, there are some apps we cannot operate. I even remember somebody in the social media, when I commented on something, hardly to realize it was on this young girls group. Then another boy asked me, Mama, what are you doing in social media? So we are very careful which social media, which group you are commenting.
But Mylene,
Yes.
What is it that you're fearing about your son finding you on social media?
No. Me as a woman, I'm not married, yes, but I have children.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm admirable. And I get so many proposals from young people.
Oh, so you might fear that your son might see the proposals.
Even the comments, you know,
yeah, of course, even the comments.
So I tend to move a distance and I behave professional.
Yeah.
I've been blocking so many people. Any people doing any advances, I block. But before you block, how many people have read the statement?
Yes, and it's also the era of screenshots.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my batting shot, because there is no time, we as Kiktanet, I'm happy because last time you took us through the apps on social media, and that's when I came to know there is Anchor, there is something, TikTok. Our women don't know how to use social media, including myself. I'm relying on Facebook only and WhatsApp. If we can get more of this information on how, like now I'm in LinkedIn, you call it?
Yeah, LinkedIn.
Yeah, but sometimes I don't know how to operate it. We need to go to class. Yeah. And when I ask even my son to give me some hints, he's like, Mom, you need to my young people. So we don't know whether in future we are going to have an app for older people, for mature people like us, then we can interact well. Yeah. Thank you, Liz.
Thank you. Social media is and the internet at large is for everyone to use because it's an empowering tool, I believe. Yeah. So I don't, do we need an app for old people?
Maybe it will come.
We just need to make the spaces safe and the attitudes that we have so that you feel included in the society. Because when you're not included also in the internet social spaces, it's like also being excluded from the rest of the society, which is what we don't want because those are some of the causes of marginalization. Yeah.
I think more we need to create awareness. Besides,
so fast before you go far, how do you read the internet? What gender would you give it? Male, female, non-binary?
Internet is youthful for me.
Yeah, now that's in
You
terms of
see?
age.
It's
Yeah.
youthful, regardless you're a woman or you're a man.
Mm-hmm.
Internet for me, it's just pure youthfulness.
You see, Liz, where we are? Above.
That kicks you out.
And it
But
does.
don't worry. That's why Kicksanet is here
Yes.
to pull you in, to make you feel comfortable. And we are going to have more of those trainings, by the way.
That
Yeah.
will be helpful. So I view it as more of youthful than gender, because the past generation was more like women. There were defined roles for women and men. So majority of women weren't given the opportunity to explore. And also another way of the older generation protecting the younger generation, they didn't want to expose their children, especially the girl child, to the internet or the negativity of the world. So it tend to be more predominated by men than women. You get?
Yeah.
But with the new generation of the age of, say, 9 to around 30, it's more of neutral for the both genders.
Past that.
Yeah, past that, there's a little bit of one-sidedness.
You choose which app.
We thank also the internet. Honestly, I'm very proud. I didn't know about podcasts, vlogs,
Podcasts,
and now I'm working on my own.
Please do share.
I'm working on my own. It's called Tales of Young Politicians. I want to move around
Nice.
the country and
Congratulations.
just speak to young people. We share the ideas, the challenges they face as young people who get into politics, and what better things we can do to improve our engagement into the political world.
I feel,
look
my
forward
sister, that is
to that.
discriminative.
Why?
If all of us are in politics, surely you should go around talking about sensitizing any politician, any person interested in politics. You know, when you say sensitizing youthful politicians, where is our space?
Yeah. Or maybe you can also start one for sensitizing.
No, that will be, we'll
your
be
niche.
crashing because we're having the same interests. Then maybe let's talk
I don't
about the
think you'll be
gender
clashing.
issues.
Just
Gender
anything that you're
issues.
interested about.
We do more of gender,
right.
other than saying
Tales of
youthful.
women politicians.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm sorry. I have to bring this podcast to an end.
Wow.
Thank you so much, ladies. It's so much fun talking to you about this topic because I know you're also maybe more passionate than I am, and you're in the mud. You're fighting for a representation
Yes.
right out there, and that is what I admire about you too. Yeah. So to our audience, it's been a pleasure. My name is Liz Orembo from Kiktanet, and my guests Mylene and
Pale.
Epale, very beautiful. Is it Masai or
Teso.
very beautiful Teso name? So we might have other episodes, but stay tuned.
Thank you.
Till next time.